So we'll get to questions in just one moment, but a few quick notes first before we get there. The first is that despite the administration's attempts to maybe do so, this project doesn't have the public support yet that they might claim it does. You heard just today about 3 different sign-on letters that had a number of different signatories, including the Prisoners' Legal Services sign-on letter, which included 80 signatories of different civil rights and advocacy organizations in opposition to the program, the formerly incarcerated women's letter with over 70 signatories, and the public health letter that Dr. Mitchell just mentioned with over 200 signatories. There is pushback to this project from a number of different locations and sectors. It's not limited to just one group of people. Additionally, many members of the Framingham legislative delegation, including the Senate president herself, along with a number of Framingham local officials, including the mayor and city council, were not made aware of the project's announcement before the administration sent out their press release. That doesn't indicate particularly strong planning or stakeholder engagement on the part of the administration. Lastly, a number of the administration's stated goals for elements of the project can be remediated now with little or no major capital investment, as you've heard today, things like programming and culture change. A number of the programs that women at Framingham are calling for did previously exist in the facility, especially prior to COVID, and have been removed with no explanation as to why they've never returned. Those clearly did not require a $360 million facility to operate prior to 2020. It's unclear why they would need that to operate now. So the organizations here, and along with a number of our colleagues and allies, have formally asked the administration for a number of specific things. The first is a formal pause on this project to consider other options for effective public safety. You've heard those calls today: housing, support, other mental health and medical support treatment options. The second is for transparency from the administration about what the scope of this project actually includes, the current status of it, the funding involved and its source, the firms involved and the stakeholders who are consulted, have been consulted, and what the process will be for consulting further stakeholders down the road. It's been particularly difficult to get information from the administration about what this project will actually include. So we're demanding more of that accountability and transparency from the administration. Third, we're requesting an exploration of real decarceration efforts for the women who are still there. You've heard a number of those different components this morning, but they include for the women who are eligible for clemency under the governor's new guidelines to explore those, exploring medical parole, normal parole, and any other options that would allow folks currently in that facility to come home, be moved to lower security facilities, to come back to their communities. The count at Framingham is already quite low. And if we're in a space where of the 200 and roughly 20 women or 218 women who are there, 30, 40, or 50 of them are in a space to come home right now, with more able to come home very soon, then the administration's efforts to spend this amount of money on the facility seem even more misaligned with the needs of the Commonwealth than they do now. Fourth, we're asking for the administration to really truly investigate the cultural and management issues in the facility. That includes holding DOC to task for the failures to manage violence, harassment, and violations of privacy against the women at Framingham, as well as other management and cultural issues there. And then lastly, for the legislature to support the prison moratorium bill. We have communicated these requests to the administration in a variety of those sign-on letters, as well as through emails and other communications with the governor and the lieutenant governor. So far, we have not heard much in the way of response. There have been a few meetings, but not much. So hopefully a number of you will be able to do some sleuthing and find out more information about the program and what exactly this proposal includes and what the administration's objectives are in doing so.